What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about the NBA playoffs because, boy, they have been fun to watch. I cannot stop watching them. These bubble games have been amazing. I hope you guys have been enjoying them just as much as I have. So you see the title of the video. We're going to be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals, which is now set between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. So I'm going to give you guys my preview and my prediction for who is going to win this series, okay? And again, I don't want to gloat, but I did predict the Celtics to beat the Raptors in 7 games, which is what ended up happening. But in that same boat, I did have the Bucks beating the Heat, and that obviously did not happen. I had that going to 7 games, and Milwaukee just did not show up. They just didn't, all right? So the Heat just smacked them around and got rid of them, disposed them in 5. All right, so before I get into my preview and my prediction, make sure if you are not following me on my social media that you do so right now, folks. I live tweet. That's the best place to reach out to me. I'm always on there, so go ahead and follow me on my social media links down below on the screen. For that, turn on the post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And of course, if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so right off the bat, this is going to be a fun series, folks. I can't wait for this one. I mean, this is going to be a close series. This is going to be a tough series. And this should be a very fun series because we've got 2 very good teams, right? Miami's been an absolute buzzsaw through the entire playoffs, right? They've only lost, what, 1 freaking game, I think? And then we take a look at the Celtics. And even though they've lost more than Miami has, they've faced, to me, maybe arguably tougher opponents, right? And so again, both teams have just been phenomenal, and they deserve to be here. That's the best part about it, is because I know that even though the Raptors series won 7 games, Boston was the better team. They deserve to be here. And Miami proved that they are the best team, from the teams that they played, and they deserve to be here. It's not like these teams don't deserve to be here, so that I am glad for, okay? Now, when I take a look at the matchup, and I take a look at the Heat and the Celtics, I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, the Celtics are just more talented. They just are, folks. That is the simple fact about it. Now, just because you are more talented, that does not guarantee you are the better team, right? So I'm not saying that, but I just wanted to put that out there that the Celtics are the more talented team, folks. The Celtics are the deeper team, all right? We take a look at their roster. Where do I even start here? Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and they are probably going to get Gordon Hayward back sometime during this series. I don't know when, but I think Brad Stevens did say they are expecting Gordon Hayward to be available sometime during the series. Gordon Hayward's back in the bubble. He's out of quarantine. He's practicing with the team. It's just a matter of if, not when. Or excuse me, it's a matter of when, not if. Tongue twister there. But Gordon Hayward is going to be absolutely playing in this series. And so you add another solid guy versus, I take a look at the Heat. The Heat are a solid team, but it's Jimmy Butler, it's Bam Adebayo, your 2 All-Stars, and then it's Goran Dragic, who's an okay player, decent player, a solid player, and then Tyler Herro's really come on, but you have a lot of these like solid role player types, the Jay Crowders, the Iguodalas, etc., right? Jason Tatum is a star. Jaylen Brown is an up-and-coming star. Kemba Walker is an all-star. Gordon Hayward's a former all-star. So these guys are talented. And so, to me, Boston has the advantage there in terms of they've got more talent and they've got more pieces. And why is that important? Because unlike the Heat and the Bucks series, in which the Heat specifically, and for good reason, targeted Giannis and got him out of the game, I don't believe they'll be able to do the same thing with Boston, because even though Jason Tatum is the Celtics' best player, the Celtics have multiple good players where if you want to take Jason Tatum out of the game, go ahead, but Jaylen Brown can probably beat you, Kemba Walker can beat you, and then, if Gordon Hayward's healthy, he can probably beat you, and Marcus Smart sometimes gets hot as well, all right? So there are other options there. The secondary pieces for the Celtics are much better than the secondary pieces that were there for the Bucks, right? Outside of Chris Middleton, nobody else. So in that aspect, I think that's another advantage for the Boston Celtics because Miami cannot take and focus on one single player, right? Now, when I take a look at the Heat, their one advantage is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo has the opportunity to take over this series and dominate because the Boston Celtics are not that great in the front court. You got, Daniel Tice, Robert Williams, a.k.a. Time Lord, Enes Kanter, who knows if he's even going to play. So the front court is fairly weak. Bam Adebayo should be able to dominate. Now, will he? That's the question. So to me, the key for the Heat in this series is not Jimmy Butler. It's Bam Adebayo. Because Jimmy Butler, he's going to get a lot of guys thrown at him, and Boston has the guys thrown at him. They've got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They've got Marcus Smart, maybe even Gordon Hayward. They can throw all of these guys at Jimmy Butler and make Jimmy Butler have a tough time. Bam Adebayo, you don't have a lot of options to cover him. So to me, the key for the Heat is to get Bam going and take advantage of the matchups against Bam. And I think for the Celtics, it's really just to overpower the Heat with the number of options they have. Now, I did mention they're the deeper team, but again, when I say deeper, I don't necessarily mean the 7th, 8th, or 10th guy because they're not going to play. I'm talking about just deeper across the rotation, if you will, right? Once you take out Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and is Goran Dragic going to beat you? Is Tyler Herro going to beat you? Is Jay Crowder going to beat you? Probably not. All right, probably not. They're good players, but they're not going to beat you. So to me, that is why when I take a look at everything here that I talked about, right, the fact that the Celtics can throw more guys at Jimmy, the fact that you can't focus on one guy on Boston, all of that combined makes me pick the Boston Celtics here. And I'm going to go with the Celtics here, all right? I think the Celtics are the better team overall, and I think they're going to win the series. Now, in terms of the number of games, this is where I have serious trouble with because the thing with the Heat, this is where the talent thing doesn't matter as much, is the Heat play very well in terms of cohesiveness, team chemistry. They have a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. Brad Stevens is a great coach as well. But they're also a tough, gritty, hard-nosed team. You know those type of annoying team. They just won't go away. That is the type of team the Heat are. And Jimmy Butler, obviously the leader of that team, he is going to not go away. So, that's why I said right off the bat, this is going to be a long series because Jimmy Butler is just not going to get swept or have it be a gentleman sweep in 5 games. So this is going 6 or 7 games. So to me, I have to pick between 6 or 7 games. And even though my mind says to pick 6 games for Boston, I'm going to give the Heat a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here and say that the heart that they've shown, the grittiness, the toughness, all that's going to factor in here. And the experience of Jimmy Butler, obviously, is going to factor. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics to win this series and advance to the NBA Finals in 7 games. So let me know what you guys think. That is my prediction. The Boston Celtics win the series in 7 games. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.